Hello, good evening. Welcome to Blaine's Escape Corner, our little corner of the internet where we get together and talk about the anime that helps us escape. Tonight is going to be brought to you by Tanuki Sake, my favorite Hakushika sake, one of the best. And it's coming to you in the form of a heated hot cup because, you know, right now is one of the last months that you're going to be able to have hot sake and not feel like you're dying. So wanted to warm it up because I quite enjoy a hot tanuki. Ooh, that's spicy. Kanpai. See how I took a safety sip first, and then I knew it wasn't going to destroy me, so I decided to have a full sip after that. Alrighty. Well, we have some fun stuff to talk about tonight. We are updated on a few anime, so we'll get to how the season is shaken down, hitting some of those third episodes. This is the turning point for a lot of people. When you hit that third, fourth episode, this is where that decision of, am I going to continue this show or does this show need to get dropped? Right now is where we're gonna see a pretty severe drop off, and I can predict that sometime next week we're gonna have a drops of the season episode where we go through and just talk about what we're not gonna watch, why we're not gonna watch it, and why it's okay. You know, a lot of people get hung up on, I started something, I gotta finish it, I gotta see it through, I've already put time into it. That whole sunk cost fallacy, right? Of I've wasted time if I don't continue it. And really what you gotta realize is you're not wasting time if you don't finish it. You spent time learning what you shouldn't do. It's sort of the you bankrupt a business, you take your failures from there and you turn your failures into lessons learned, and you can apply that to future episodes. So we'll get into that. I found an article about Crunchyroll's new monopoly, which I want to kind of look at that from both the actual business monopoly side of things, as well as I think the article is going to go more into what Crunchyroll having all of Funimation's shows is actually going to mean for anime enjoyers and watchers and enthusiasts. You and I who have a Funimation or have a Crunchyroll account, and how that's going to mean something moving forward. Then I found more articles, and not even found, literally 2 articles today coming out from CBR that are saying Shikimori is this, Shikimori is that. It's fantastic. I can't wait. It's Shikimori time. So we're going to get into a bit more of the, can they convince me Shikimori is any good? And the real question is, what's in the manga? Honestly, if they can't point to something they know is coming and they're going to use only what we currently understand from the show, it's going to be a tough battle for them to convince me that this relationship is anywhere near as good as the relationships we saw last season with Mara and Gojo, or Komi and Homo, what the heck's his name? All I remember is Komi from that show, so it's hard to remember what his name is, but he still was kind of a fun, cute character. It's going to be hard pressed to convince me that they are at all in the same category of quality as far as that goes. So we'll dive into those 2 articles and see where they take us. See where they go. Alrighty. Let's start out as we always do with our daily update on shows. We are up to episode 3, Rising of the Shield Hero. Now, if you don't exist online, I don't know how you found me or why you're watching this or who sent this to you. but you've already seen our friend PS2 Turtle. And if you haven't, and you somehow made it to this show without seeing our friend PS2 Turtle, let's scroll down. Let's pull up our friend PS2 Turtle. But before I do, this is actual screenshots from an anime that is airing today. An anime. Not a video game from 20 years ago. Not an anime from 20 years ago. An anime from today. Specifically a couple days ago. This is the turtle. This is Biggie Turtle Boy. That is his CG face. Those are his shiny little beady eyeballs. That is his whole body is CG'd. And it moves. There he is screaming in CG. There they are. All turtly. This is in Shield Hero. And the consistent conversation online is that the author thought this was sort of the more boring arc from the series, and now we have a studio that's not even bothering to animate a giant turtle. I get it, I've got to draw something. It can be kind of hard to make something animate a little bit slower to make it look big. You don't have to have it move that much, though. You just need to draw a turtle. The fact that we cut to this thing and it is so jarring. I mean, if you look at this screen, we have the turtle up here with some fog and mist to kind of hide how bad the CG is. And then we have the animated people right here. The entire episode is like this, with this jarring back and forth between this turtle and our characters. We have some reference to characters that I don't recall, and we have Raph and Philo going Goku Super Saiyan Kid style into the turtle to do what they need to do, and it's just it's a silly one, it's a goofy one, and I cannot say that it's gonna be super quality this season. And from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing about the manga and this specific arc, I feel like it feels like filler. It really does. It feels like let's do something that doesn't affect the overarching story. So the overarching story is we got the waves, the heroes are summoned from another world so that we can fight off the waves. And that's sort of what this world is all about. I feel like this turtle story is that filler where it's like, well, they haven't finished the next set of the waves in the manga yet, so we have to put together this story so that we can have them do something in the show that comes out weekly, so that when the manga finally releases, we can have something to still have an audience that's following along with us. And because it's so different, it's so... we're not doing the waves, but then they reference like, they can stop the waves for a period of time if they get enough shows, and it's like, okay, well, why doesn't the turtle just fix it? Why do we summon these heroes if the turtle can just do it? I don't know. It's still pretty early in this. It's not when you're in the bunker and they're talking and they're deciding sort of what they want to do. It's decent. A little bit of military, a little bit of drama, a little bit of fighting. We've got a decent story sort of overall, but it feels very filler. That's the easiest way I can communicate sort of what that what it feels like right now with Shield Hero. Definitely worth watching because you get to see the characters interact. We get to see Shield Hero especially sort of like step up, and we saw some of that towards the end of season 1, and so it's nice to see that sort of continuing where they're playing the role of the hero and actually stepping up into that. So I feel like it's going to be really good as far as character building, which is literal definition of a good filler arc, is builds character without propelling the story. So I think we're going to build a lot of good character. story is going to be one of those weird side tangents, and then we can get to the waves later. That's a Shield hero this by episode 3. Greatest Demon Lord is reborn as a typical nobody. Also up to episode 3 on this one. It is popcorn. It is fun. It is silly. It is, of course, the succubus girl is like, okay, let's do a harem. And then you also get the, I don't approve of a harem from the elf girl. And it's funny. It's silly. It's cute. The main guy continues to be just, I thought I was going to be average, but now I'm some kind of crazy OP. And it really, I think we're going to have more and more fun with this, especially with this idea of we've uncovered demons now. So we get that demon aspect like we did from Greatest Sage, which was a fun, you can have something that's an enemy that's not specifically other humans that are fighting each other. There's like this other force that's sort of, it may not be like the most realistic or grounded, but sometimes a fun story needs to have just a I'm evil enemy. And if we can get demons that are just the I'm evil enemies, I'm all for it. More background, more story fodder for the this guy's super powerful and is now attracting, of course, a silly harem around him that are and his whole position of just not, he just wants friends. He just wants to have friends. He wants to be in a place where he can have friends that he can talk to, he can interact with, without them always thinking he's like this sort of godlike being. And unfortunately, he still has those superpowers now, but he's able to focus more on, I want to build friends. I want to have a friendship. I want to, chat with people. I want to have a good time. And so far, so good. I'm enjoying it. It's not a deep show. It's not a life-changing show. It is a silly show that you can throw some popcorn down with. Really quite enjoying that. Episode 3 on Daemon. Daemon. There's too many vowels at the beginning of this for it to be an easy to read English word. But the third episode, we're jumping into some of the main guy's past. We can see his old girlfriend that she left, and now she's coming back into the picture. He's able to build a bit more of a connection with Itsuki, so she can get that sort of surrogate father. It's another one of those surrogate family builders, very common. I feel this year, where it's the find your family from your friends sort of a thing, and it's a good one. I like the little ad to this one. We had some interesting wagashi information in the other two, wagashi being Japanese style sweets. Japanese style sweets typically are going to have less sugar sweet to them, something like a red bean and that kind of thing. However, there are some that are just straight up sugar, so that's not a hard and fast rule. But if you have a sweet in Japan and it's kind of cute and small and isn't really hyper sweet the way like a Tootsie Roll would be, or a Hershey's Kiss, it's more of a dark chocolate, or it's got that onko and it's got mochi and you're tasting rice as well as the sweetness, you're probably having wagashi. And in this latest episode, we learned about a wagashi that is basically a pancake that's folded over sweet mochi and looks like a little fish, and it's adorable and it's cute. And we learned that the fish that it's patterned after will be different in different areas. So the Kyoto version is patterned after the sweet fish that are in their lake, and we get that sweet mochi, whereas other areas will have red bean in them. And it's I didn't notice it in previous episodes because they were just talking about how grandma loves this certain sweet because it melts in her mouth, and it's just sort of a sugar sweet that melts away. And it just felt like something grandma would say, like, oh, these are my favorite because I don't have to chew and I'm grandma. And it was like, oh, yeah, it's cute, grandma. But in this one, it was, this is a thing and this is a different thing. Oh, I'm not learning about sweets. And it's like, wait a minute, am I learning about sweets? Did I just learn about sweets here? I am all about learning about food. That is a definite escape for me is learning about food, making food, and enjoying food. And if we're going to continue to learn about Japanese sweets in a way that makes sense because they just exist and the seasons change and they've changed the sweet that they're handing out, I'm all for it. I'm excited for it. Dagashi Kashi was really fun learning about different candies and stuff. However, it literally was, here's a candy, and I'm going to tell you all about this candy and wonderful, wonderful candy. Okay, cool. You're just literally taking a break to give me a commercial about this particular candy. Whereas in Diamond so far, it's been very, very well incorporated into the story, and I'm excited to see what other candies we're going to learn about and see as we continue on. So that is my update for tonight. 3 episode 3s. Look at that, the 3x3. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow along for more daily updates on what shows I've been keeping up with. Okay, being silly enough silliness. I need to do this and this. We have a new dub that could be very fun. Love After World Domination dub has been announced. Now, I've already said that Love After World Domination is easily one of my favorite shows. It's a competition between this and Birdie Wing this season. Why would I be excited about the dub? Because I love Power Rangers. Because the old original Power Rangers, you had the tokusatsu that was coming from Japan, that was the Power Rangers fighting. And then not only did they dub over their fighting, they also cast and had an entire separate set of English story going on the other half of things when they weren't in their super suits. And so I'm excited to see English voices coming out of Power Rangers, because that's going to be a huge nostalgia hit for me. Very, very fun. I'm really stoked for it. And I believe, hold on one second here. Fudo. Yes, okay. I'm pretty sure that Fudo's voice actor is really, this is going to be a big pop off for them. Like, they're one of their first leading roles. If it's not, what else have you been in? What an underling, student. Just one episode, couple episodes. Yeah. It looks like this is going to be their first, kind of their first lead role. So another one where we've got someone who's got plenty of roles, plenty of acting experience, and they get to step up and become that main role. And it should be fun to see how someone takes our super strong jock boy of a super Power Ranger and gives them that little bit of a twist that says they're falling in love, and how we get to hear that. So I'm stoked for it. I'm excited for it. I'll probably watch it. I don't think I'm gonna switch to it though, the same way that I'm switching Otome game. I will still keep up with the Japanese on Love After World Domination, because I just love it so much. I need to keep up with it. I need to follow with it. However, it is something that I am excited to kind of follow up with and see how they're doing as far as voices go, because you never know, they could make it so that the dub is the way that I prefer things to be, and we will just have to find out. Alrighty. Crunchyroll anime monopoly. So here we have Crunchyroll Funimation. Why Crunchyroll's anime monopoly might not be a good thing for all fans. Crunchyroll is now the sole legal anime-specific streaming site based in America, and here's why that might not be a good thing, by Christy Gibbs. This is fresh. This is fresh, hot off the presses, coming out 3 hours ago. So we have some questions here right off the bat, right? Obviously, they're saying, oh, it's a monopoly. Little hyperbolic, I think, to say, oh, they're a monopoly. We do have High Dive, who is owned by AMC. So you've got other streaming services. We've got Crunchyroll, we've got High Dive, we have Amazon Prime, as awful as their interface is. We have Netflix. So from a judicial standpoint, I guess you could say, from a legal standpoint, we don't have a monopoly as far as that's considered. The idea that being an anime-specific streaming site in America, I don't know that that's true either, because High Dive is headquartered in Texas. So you specifically have High Dive, who is the other competitor, who right now is also they've got your boy Kong Ming that's being hit as far as being one of the, or being touted as a really great comedy. We've got Executioner that is coming out this season. We've got some stuff that are a reason to get a High Dive account. So High Dive is stepped up as far as people want to see stuff. 300,000 users estimated right now. So I don't think we see this specifically as a monopoly. So I'm curious where this article is going to go as far as how are they going to define a monopoly, and what does that mean? The question always is, how does distribution help the product continue to be made? If you don't watch a product, in the old days, it was the show would get released, the show would get licensed, then the show would get distributed. And so the licensing and distribution would occur, and then you would buy the DVDs or you'd rent them, and in some form or fashion, you acquiring each show or watching each show would send money to the licensor, who then had paid money to the creator, right? And so you have this sort of this ladder of money where everybody throws money up, hoping they'll get more money as they turn around and pass it off to the next person. And that's sort of that distribution system from the artist, the director, the studio, to you who actually has to watch it. Now, there's not specifically a monetary correlation to me watching a show. Now, there is a monetary correlation to me watching something on, say, YouTube, for example. If I watch something on YouTube, I'm creating advertiser hours that YouTube can then sell to advertisers. And actually, there's a direct, if you watch something more, you can get more income from more people watching things, right? So those things that are watched more become more valuable. Something like a Crunchyroll, something like a Netflix, something like an Amazon Prime, there is no real correlation to me watching the thing and them making money. They only make money because I have an account that I'm paying for, and every month they get money from that. And I can watch as much or as little as I want. Now, you do see the changes where Netflix, for example, a while back changed it so that, you wanted the higher res stuff, you had to pay more. You wanted to see on more devices, you had to pay more. So they sort of added these extra gatekeeping levels to how much data is getting pulled out of their servers that they're having to pay for. And then I believe there was a new announcement. I haven't really looked into it yet, where Netflix might actually switch to a commercial model where there would be ads that play when you're watching it. And I believe there is a free Crunchyroll model wherein ads are played kind of throughout your video. However, back before I paid for Crunchyroll, I remember the advertisements all being for Crunchyroll. So maybe that was before they had enough clout to really get other advertisers. But I remember seeing a commercial for Yana of the Dawn over and over and over again. But let's see. Let's break down specifically into the Funimation Crunchyroll merger. And the other thing to remember about all this, Sony owns both Funimation and Crunchyroll. So yes, they're separate companies. Yes, they are different LLCs or however they're probably set up as LLCs most likely, as opposed to just corporations. But they're both under the same umbrella of Sony Pictures. So it's not it's an interesting sort of merger, because it's more just like, all right, you two departments are getting connected, but on the legal side of things, they are very much so separate. The recent mega merger. Now, yes, it's a big merger, I guess, but it's not like it's a mega merger. It's not like we're talking about like Fox merging with CNN or something like that. Of Funimation with Crunchyroll under the ownership of Sony Pictures has meant that Crunchyroll is now by far the largest anime licensed streaming service for Western fans, compared to the likes of Hulu or Netflix, each of which has somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 to 300 anime titles. Crunchyroll has around 1,300 individual titles available. Okay, so there's our first question. How many titles? How many anime on HiDive? Not best. How many? How many? How many? HiDive. You tell me how many you have. I know you have 300,000 users. I will accept your cookies. Where can I find... Well, excuse me. All right, here's what I'm going to do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 25. And then that's another 25. So we're probably into the 600s with everything that's available on HiDive. So HiDive probably should be the comparison there. I don't think we should be comparing to Hulu or Netflix, when Hulu's anime all came from Funimation essentially, and Netflix, they only get a couple shows that they really care about, because the majority of Netflix's user base is not watching anime. The majority of them are watching Love on the Spectrum, which they should be. Yeah, okay, interesting. So 1,300 individual titles. In many ways, Funimation's merger can be considered quite convenient. After all, why search on and pay for two separate services when you can pay for only one that contains most of the same titles? On the other hand, is having such an unified anime subscription experience inherently a good thing? Or are there some potential downsides to consider? That is the question. Oh, a related article. We can watch that later, or read that later. While many anime viewers are no doubt happy at the prospect of simplifying their online anime library and possibly paying for one less streaming service than before, not everything about this move will have a positive impact on other fans, especially as it means that Crunchyroll is now the sole legal anime-specific streaming site based in America. Does this person not know about High Dive? Like, maybe they don't. One of the most immediate concerns has been that not all titles previously available on Funimation will be moved to Crunchyroll. While reportedly about 80% of Funimation's content was supposed to be transferred by the end of March 2022, this still leaves a number of shows and/or specific show language formats out in the cold. For instance, Crunchyroll's own forums have seen fan complaints about the likes of completely missing titles such as Serial Experiments Lane and Baka and Test, which is a great show, or titles that are available to watch with subtitles but not dubbed into English, One Piece, Bleach, Dragon Ball Super. Yep. There's also the matter of cost to take into account. Funimation's subscription plans were $5.99 per month for Premium, or $7.99 for Preem Plus. In contrast, Crunchyroll, which immediately ended its free ad-supported... they ended it. Interesting. For new and continuing series after the merge is more expensive. Subscribers pay a minimum of $8 per month fan plan and $15 per month Ultimate Fan. While Crunchyroll's own pricing plan has not yet changed as a result of the merger, not all fans have the spare cash to pay regardless. I get it. This point is an important one, as it's about far more than simply a few disgruntled fans having to shell out an extra $20 to $30 a year if they want to access the same category of titles previously offered by Funimation. Looking at the bigger picture, this will more than likely drive at least some viewers to stream outside of what's legally available to them. Dun, 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 dun. This may not be a great for Crunchyroll, but it's worse for the anime industry as a whole, which is already notorious for its issues regarding piracy. Bum bum bada bum bum bada bum bum bada bada bum. Accessibility is particular an issue for fans living outside of the US and English-speaking world, most notably for those living in regions such as Africa and Asia. This is a problem that Funimation's merger with Crunchyroll will more likely exacerbate, and not only because of the aforementioned cost increase. Crunchyroll serves a lot of countries, but plenty of others are left out, either in part or entirely due to licensing issues. Western fans living in Japan, for instance, are ironically unable to access Crunchyroll at all. True! And this has been a years-long problem. My wife and I were on vacation in Japan, and we were basically done exploring for the day, and we were back at our hotel, and it wasn't quite time for bed, and we didn't have anything else to do, and so we were like, hey, let's watch a show, and we pulled up Crunchyroll, and it's like not available in your country, and I was like, what are you talking about? How can you not be available in Japan? This is the place where the anime is. And then Netflix over there didn't have an English subtitle on anything, so that was a fun time. Very fun. It's also impossible to access part or all of Crunchyroll's catalog in the likes of China, Australia, New Zealand, and most countries in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, and not everyone has the money or know-how to install VPNs, which are either illegal or use or simply blocked in Iraq, Iran, China, and Russia, among other countries. In short, and unsurprisingly, Funimation's merge with Crunchyroll only reinforces the notion that commercial monopolies aren't necessarily a good thing for consumers, especially in the long term. Healthy competition typically drives improved services, whereas a lack of competition frequently results in less accessibility and higher costs. This move may not negatively impact everyone, but people living outside of the US and or who have little or no source of income might not be as lucky, potentially heightening the already numerous problems the anime industry is facing regarding piracy. Christy Gibbs, CBR editor, and anime aficionado with a penchant for slice of life stories of josei mangas. In his spare time, she enjoys reading, writing, and travel. All right. Let's go back to the ladder of money. Talking about that ladder of anime money. Let's see. How do anime studios make money? Animation studios. I guess, hold on. And this is where their money goes. Oh, this will be good. This will be good. So I'm gonna talk about what I think, and then let's get into this. Studio, the artists, the people that are actually creating and putting together the anime. They're doing the original voice actors. They're doing all of the storyboarding. They're putting together the actual show. Are paid by the producer. The producer is the one who says, this story, this thing is going to make money. Here's money for you to make it. And then I'm going to go make sure that it makes money in theater, in release, however the producer wants to make money. Producer has a number of avenues for them to make money with. The producer will sell the license. So they will say, hey, Crunchyroll or Netflix or High Dive, you want to show this show. This is the greatest show you've ever seen. This show is the show that makes other shows look like not shows. That's how good it is. Give me money and I will let you be the one who gets this show and gets to show this show in your country. And that license to be able to show the show costs X amount of dollars. You can also purchase the merchandising rights along with that license, wherein you will get the show and you also get the rights in that country or specific areas to then sell the stuff associated with it. So if anybody wants to purchase a doll or a pillow or the whatever it may be, you can have the rights to sell those, and so you get your margin off those sales as well. For Netflix, for Crunchyroll, for High Dive, for any of these companies, they are paying for these licenses to be the one that shows this so that you will come give them money. And you will say, I'm going to keep my subscription. You know, I was thinking about getting rid of my Netflix subscription. Said no one ever. But because they got this show, I'm gonna keep them around. Or Crunchyroll. You know, I was thinking of dropping my Crunchyroll subscription, but you know what? They got that new pirate anime, and I want to watch it. So you keep your subscription. So their goal is to get you to either maintain your subscription or find a friend that you tell that will then pick up the subscription so that you can watch it. For example, I'm looking at picking up High Dive so I can watch Kong Ming and Executioner legally stream it. So that's the main way those producers are going to make money. They can also, of course, release on or sell the local license to like anime TV channels in Japan, and then they can sell the merchandise, the DVDs, the physical media, and like I said, they can license that internationally, so they don't have to worry about that. They just sell a crap ton of stuff to one company, and then they can do with it what they want, and then they can focus on the local markets, and that's sort of like where your producer's going to make money. Now, in the modern era, you will notice that I said nothing about you watching the show making the show any money. You watching a show on Crunchyroll or High Dive or Netflix doesn't make Netflix, High Dive, Crunchyroll any money. In fact, it costs them money. They would rather, they're a gym, right? You pay them every month to be able to use their facility, to use their data. And if you don't show up and don't use the facility, you don't wear down the facility at the gym. The gym loves it when you buy a membership and never show up, because then you're not going to wear down their equipment and cost them to have people cleaning the place, repairing equipment, restocking the bathrooms, all the stuff that goes along with that, they don't have to pay for. Same thing with streaming. They pay for every amount of data that leaves the servers that they're paying to host their stuff on. So the less we watch, the more they make. All they want is that subscription. They want to keep that subscription, or they want to get more subscriptions. They do not care if you watch a show until you get into the marketing aspect of things. You watch a show. You like the show. You think the characters are cool. And then you go on Crunchyroll's website and you see a poster for one of the characters. You say, you know what? I like this show. I want to put it up on my wall. And you buy that poster. Suddenly you've spent money because you did watch the show. So the shows function as marketing. Marketing, advertising, costs companies money. It's the same exact thing. Company pays to put their ads somewhere. They then are hoping that you'll pay them more money than they paid to get the ad out there. Or collectively, the customer base will pay more money than it costs to get that ad out there. So they're hoping that the amount that they're bringing in through the subscriptions and through the merchandise is going to outweigh what it costs them to host it, plus what they had to pay for the license just to get it in the first place. But you specifically watching something doesn't affect like their actual bottom line meaningfully, because like I said, it does cost money for them to have the servers and to be transmitting the data across the server. But we're talking fractions on their overall profit and loss statements. I'm sure if it's not, $200 per million views of a 1 hour show, then I don't know, like that's the kind of deal I could negotiate with an Amazon Web Service. So they've got to be getting way better than that as far as things are considered. So real quick, let's take a look here at this article on where studios get their money. And I skipped a whole bunch of like how much it costs studios to make shows. Home video is still vital for animation studios. Production committees and studios will rarely, if ever, comment on revenue splits. But it's been implied that home video is extremely important for an anime studio's bottom line. Probably because the studio is getting a what do you call it? Like a royalty, basically. So for every disc of this show that this studio made, you're going to get X amount of cash. Question, of course, is does that actually go to anything else? Digital sales of anime series are also down, highlighting the fans don't feel the need to own their favorite anime. Goes to international licensing. It tends to clash with the international fans don't matter narrative that people love to peddle, but international licensing has become lifeblood of anime. In 2015, licensing was the second largest revenue stream for the industry. This includes legal streaming and purchasing localized home video releases. Licensors, okay, so the DVDs you buy from Funimation and Crunchyroll are part of this licensing cost that's going to pay for the studios, which is paid whether or not you watch the show. Licensors don't report the revenue splits, of course they don't, but a portion of it goes back to the animation studios. Other revenue streams for studios include studios, of course, getting some sort of cut from every show that is sold. Piracy isn't a zero-sum issue that can be easily solved. In fact, various academic studios from independent agencies have found that piracy has a minuscule effect on sales numbers for most industries, since not all revenue streams can be pirated. However, academics do agree that piracy hurts some home video sales, which is what studios rely on. The availability of pirated streams or torrents also hurts legal streaming services due to a price advantage, as most people will choose free instead of paying. The issue is trying to place a real sticker price on the damages, which is covered in a TED Talk about music piracy. It's incredibly simplistic to boil down piracy, because there are a lot of uncontrollable variables, such as assuming all pirates are potential customers and regional availability, and that's why it's hard to tell. And the fact that they're not profiting. Okay. Again, really, really hard to sell me on the idea that For example, you pay for Netflix, but you can't watch Komi-san. You're gonna pay for Netflix no matter what. Why not? Why don't you get to watch Komi-san? I am going to use the bathroom, and then I will be back. Forget it. I'm not gonna start a new stream. I'm just gonna roll with it. Good times, great times. Here we go. Hello, Bill. Welcome. Hold on. Check. Check. Okay. Woo! All right. It is time for a refill on the sake. Fill it up on a Wednesday. I'm gonna need plenty of go juice for these next articles. I just don't want to mess around with starting a new stream, so we're gonna just tag this on to the end of this one. It'll be weird. I'll have to trim it out, but we will make it work. Let us open up. Boom. This is gonna be fun. Boom. All right, so I've got 2. Shikimori is not just a cutie. Episode 2 blends Komi, Shoko, and Kitagawa Marin. Press X to doubt. Shikimori's not just a cutie. Izumi's biggest weakness becomes everyone's problem, including mine. It's part of my problem with the show. It's not good. He's not a great character. It's not good. Not fantastic. So, comp high, and we'll dive into these articles. All right, our goal here is to see, can they convince me to watch this show? Will they convince me that they are indeed okay show? We're gonna start out with how Shikimori is blending Komi and Marin. I don't know how they're gonna do that. I don't know if you can convince me of that. I don't foresee it being. I don't see it happening. I don't see it coming to fruition. However, Shikimori is the best part of the show, and I think the idea of following someone around who wants to pretend to be cute, or wants to be cute but is sort of cool, has those manly traits. I like that idea in the character and how they could struggle with that. I'd like to focus on that struggle. So I think this first article is the one that's going to really help us as far as get us into that mindset, and we will see if it can convince me that this is going to be a good show as it moves forward. Following contains spoilers for episode 2 of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, Wind and Cloud, Ball Sports Tournament. Ball Sports is what I call things. You can't take my term for it. All right. The spring 2022 anime lineup is off to a strong start with shows such as Kaguya-sama Love is War, which you love if you already love Kaguya-sama, Spy Family, and there is a lot of competition. To see who will become the season's best girl, so far, characters like the telepathic Anya Forger and Shinomiya Kaguya are in the lead. But episode 2 of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie helps keep its titular lead in the running. I don't know if Anya can be in the running for best girl. Like, she is, by definition, a girl, but the best girl is usually like maybe I'm confusing it with best waifu. Okay, yeah, no, she can be best girl. I'm confusing it with best waifu. That's my bad. I apologize. I'll take my punishment. Anime fans might not have anticipated Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie as much as the aforementioned titles. Are you kidding me? I saw so many things online that were like, watch out, here she comes, she's gonna be the next Marin. Look out, here comes Kitagawa, but she's gonna do great. Get out of here. The internet was awash with that. But episode 2 helps establish Shikimori as a lovable blend of My Dress Up Darling's energetic Kitagawa Marin and the ultra-popular Komi Shoko, from Komi Can't Communicate, which could go a long way towards making her spring 2022's best girl. I hope you prove it, because all that episode did was show me that Ding Dong has even less power in this world, as awful things happen to him through his bad luck. That's all I saw. We knew she'd be good. We know she's good at things, so of course she's going to be fantastic at sports ball game. Episode 2 of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie makes it clear that while the amusingly clumsy Izumi, that's one way to put it, he's not amusing because we don't know why he's so clumsy. And he's not clumsy. He literally got hit by a ball, and then like stuff just happens to him. He's not clumsy specifically. Like, yes, he has tripped. Yes, he has fallen. Yes, we have seen him be what we would call clumsy. However, outside forces are doing work to this guy, and we don't know why, and it's not explained. He's a shonen protagonist. No, he's just yes, he's a shonen. Yes, he's a boy. Yes, he's a protag in the fact that he's helping move the story along, but he's almost more antagonist, because he's like the negative reason why the story is moving along. It's his girlfriend Shikimori who truly stands in the spotlight. The show's named after her. Of course she's the spotlight. Who else would be the spotlight except for the person that you're literally naming in the title of your show? Komi Can't Communicate. Komi's the spotlight. My dress up darling. She is the darling who is dressing up. Why would she not be why would she not be the spotlight? Especially when the school sports festival launches. Izumi can't make a single kick in soccer, while Shikimori becomes the star of girls volleyball, and all her fellow students adore and praise her as a seemingly perfect athlete and classmate. Izumi only gets a bit of secondhand adoration in the process. Does he get adoration? Hey, nice job getting smashed in the face. Good job, you did it. Something happened to you. Like, who cares? But I like the idea of her being, like, if he did nothing and had no clumsiness, but she was struggling with the idea that things she do looks too cute or too cool, and she wants to be cute, that's one thing. Like, he shows up, she's playing volleyball, he's like, go, you can do it, and she like puts her hair back and gets all cool, and he's like, kakui, like she looks cool, and that's sort of the struggle, is she doesn't want to look cool, and so she's sort of struggling at the game while doing good at the game, but she could do better because she doesn't want to look too cool. And then he comes in and he's like, hey, nice job, you can do it. And she's like, yeah, I am gonna put on like my hair in a back and turn into that prince that everybody's watching, and she just dominates the game. Like, all right, cool, we got it. We don't need him to be such a like, oh, I broke my arm because a rock fell out of the sky and hit me. Like, who cares? Get out of here. Just be a person. Like, why do we have this bad luck? I still don't get it. It is common in modern anime to involve a highly capable, charismatic, and prominent female character in shows of all genres, which means fans have more picks for best girl than ever before. It's a flattering trend that helps distance itself from the series whose female characters are simply token love interests, fan service providers, or damsels in distress. Since when? Wait, okay, hold on. Modern anime? Come on, let's go back. Let's talk for a second. One of my earliest anime memories is Slayers, where we have the capable and cool Lena inverse. She's awesome, she's amazing, and she runs the show, and she's the greatest like sorceress, and Slayers is all about Lena and following Lena around, and she's awesome and cool and really strong and all that. Evangelion, everybody's broken, but the one who's like cool and in charge is Asuka. We talked about this a little bit yesterday when I was ranting about the difference of this show. Best girls have been a thing in anime for years. Like, yeah, you can say that like Sailor Moon is girly, but she's still saving the dang world. Like, she's still making sure that everybody is gonna be okay at the end of the day. Like, she's in charge, she's controlling that. Ghost in the Shell, okay, she's a robot, so what? We're talking about the fact that like, physicality is not really that important because they're robots, but it is, because specifically in the original Ghost in the Shell, they call out Why don't you trade in that female suit for a male one? It's stronger. And then she kicks Bato's butt in that scene. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. She knows how to use this female body. She can make it do what she needs it to. And that's going to be part of her character, is using the weaker suit, but also she's very strong and capable. So in modern anime, as in the modern era of the last 50 years, sure. But learn that something occurs more often than just in the past week for you. Fans want anime girls who can stand on their own. And even if episode 2 can't single-handedly make Shikimori Spring 2022's best girl, it does a lot to prove why fans should keep her on their radar as the season continues. Best girl's Desumi. Just is. She is trying to conquer the world, destroy the world, and she's cute and adorable, and she's learning what love is like, and she's got the little pouty face going on already. Like, we've got all the signs of a good best girl in Desumi. Not only is Shikimori admirable and impressive in her own right, but she also should appeal to fans of other recent best girls, including the aforementioned Dandere Komi Shoko, and the lively Marin from My Dress Up Darling. Komi, I'm not as big a fan of Komi. The whole I don't speak a lot is not something that I connect with very well. I find it hard to communicate with people if they aren't able to communicate back to me, and you can't, you ask them a question, you get a or something. I like to get to know people and get them to crack open and get them to start talking about what they enjoy and what they like. So I find it hard to really get behind Komi. However, Marin, fantastic. Marin, I could meet, I could talk with her. We could break open into anime. We could talk about cosplay. She would crack and she would then speak and she would be enjoyable about all that stuff. I don't know a dang thing that Shikimori enjoys or likes or is into or anything like that. I have no idea what she's passionate about. We know she wants to be cute to some extent. We know that people think she is cool, but we don't know what she's passionate about. We don't know what she's interested in. And the appeal of Marin, of Komi, were their passions, were what they were excited about. Komi was excited about making friends, even though she was bad at it. Marin was excited about cosplaying because that's what she loves, even though she was bad at it. Like, that's literally, they have that same thing. So, like, what is Shikimori passionate about that she's also bad at? She's passionate about being cute. She's not trying to be cute. She's passionate about protecting Izumi. Okay, but why does he need protecting? Why is he a thing that bad things are always happening to? Why does that happen? So we need more. We need more before you start comparing her to those two, all right? This is clickbait the article is what this is. All these characters are effectively the protagonists of their own stories. Of course they are. Komi-san can't communicate. Komi is the protagonist. Marin from Dress Up Darling. Marin's the protagonist. That's literally the point, is that they are the protagonists of their shows. Even if their narrators are their male friends, such as Izumi and Tadano. How often is the narrator the main character? Now, sometimes you'll hear the narrator's inner monologue, but a true narrator will typically be a third party, a detached voice. Grandpa reading a bedtime story, someone doing the framing of things. That's when I first met her. You get they're talking about things. Even if you want to get as like sort of mind bendy as like Fight Club, like the main character is the narrator, but it's really about Brad Pitt's character. And I'm spacing on the name of them from the book. But the narrators doesn't make them a main character. Get out of here, just because you hear their voice more. And they all have a few things in common. Anyone who enjoyed meeting Komi or Marin is sure to like Shikimori too. Maybe. I don't see what we would talk about. Shikimori has the charisma and popularity of Komi and knows how to handle all the adoration she receives with grace and finesse. Did you watch Komi-san? Komi is not charismatic technically. Like she's not very good at getting talking to people and getting them to become friends. Everybody just worships her, right? So I could see that as a popularity scale, but We'll see. Handle all the adoration with grace and finesse, which is a major factor in her favor. She also shares Marin's enthusiasm, proactive mindset, and relationship goals connection with Izumi. Like Marin, Shikimori establishes herself as the ideal girlfriend, a kind, protective, energetic girl who respects and supports her partner, who in turn respects her as an equal. Not really? I mean, Marin's enthusiastic about cosplay. Is a proactive mindset about the next con, the next thing. She has a relationship goal because this guy she met who is helping her with this is really fun and cute and interesting to be around, and she likes that. So her relationship goal builds from her enthusiasm and proactive, like, her enjoyments, her passions, right? And here we have Shikimori. What is she enthusiastic about? What is she really excited about? What we've seen Shikimori do is play volleyball and not get serious until her boyfriend shows up. We've seen her protect him from stuff and do crazy taekwondo kicks to save him from things, right? We haven't seen her be passionate or excited about anything. Even when they played bowling, like she did well, but we don't know why or how or anything like that. Deadpool comics bill, I don't know what, like, the fact that he narrates things and he's the main character. That makes sense. Back into it. Many anime fans might agree that My Dress Up Darlings Marin and Gojo were the ideal couple in the making, and just 2 episodes in, Shikimori's not just cutie suggests Shikimori can rival Marin at her own game, and possibly even surpass her even if she fails to become Spring 2022's best girl. She just might take the best girlfriend title. All right, Louis Kemner, you've got 4,000 articles, and you've been a fan of Japanese animation since 1997. I have some direct criticisms here. I have made it very clear what I think of Marin and Gojo as the ideal couple because they both have their separate passions. Marin is all about cosplay and anime. She really likes the games she plays. She really wants to dress up as these characters because she loves them so much, but she's bad at that. Gojo really wants to make dolls, really wants to make these things that his grandpa makes, and he wants to be a craftsman in that sense. And he's grown the skills that will allow him to help Marin with her craft, with cosplay. And so they get together through that, and they become a cute couple because now they're interacting intimately with building the costumes together, doing the makeup together, all that kind of stuff builds the relationship. Shikimori has no passion that we're aware of other than being a girlfriend. Like, we have no idea what she's interested in, what she wants to do, what she thinks is fun. All we know is that she likes this guy. And this guy, it just has bad luck. That's all he is. That's all his character is. That's all we get is bad luck Brian over here. Baseball flying in the window. Best friend had to save him. Oh my goodness. How can you have watched anime since 1997? In 1997, I was 7. When I was 7, I had seen Power Rangers. We were just getting into Slayers, I believe, at the time. Evangelion was right around the corner. We had some of those older movies like the Akiras and things that I saw, some censored versions of that my dad would just fast forward through the scenes he thought were too graphic. I was getting into Guyver. We were watching these shows, and I was 7, and I can tell you, like I did earlier, about all of these powerful female characters. And you're writing an article in 2022 as though powerful female characters in anime are a new thing. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. Powerful female characters have run anime since the beginning. And manga and anime have had powerful female writers and directors for a long time. So, woo, I don't know where you come with those kind of article writing skills. But I came prepared. I came prepared to rage double. And maybe I'll actually rage. Maybe I'll actually get there. Another one by our same friend, Louis Kemner. This one 15 hours ago. The last one was 3 hours ago. This one's 15. Hot off the presses. Shikimori is not just a cutie. Izumi's biggest weakness becomes everyone's problem. How can they be new? They wrote in their bio that they've been watching and a fan since 1997. It says, Louis Kemner has been a fan of Japanese animation since 1997, when he discovered Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z in elementary school. Now he's a bigger anime manga fan than ever and is ready to share what he knows with readers worldwide. He graduated high school in 2009. We're the same age. Louis Kemner and I both graduated in 2009 and received his bachelor's in creative writing from UMKC in 2013, put his skills to work in 2019 with CBR. He's always looking for a wonderful new anime to watch or seasons to read. Articles, like, you know what it has to be? It has to be that they discovered Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, and that's all they knew. They knew, like, the Toonami block. They had Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon was for girls, and maybe they caught an episode of Gundam Wing and Tenchi Muyo in the background. And then kind of in the late 2010s, when anime started becoming more popular, they were like, oh, I can write. I can do this, because it wasn't until 2019 they became they started writing with CBR. So from 2013 to 2019, who knows? Maybe they were just random jobs here and there trying to get stuff going, but they weren't really watching anime or about the scene. But there's so much, and the annoying part is, like, there's so much that I watched from 97 to 2009, from when I first started watching anime to when I, kind of graduated and had to start getting jobs and that kind of stuff that took away time that I could watch shows. That insane. How can you be like this? How are you the author? Hold on. Show me lies, show me your sweet, sweet lies. Do 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 do. Show me lies, show me sweet little lies. All right, well, okay. All right, Louis Kemner. This one's for you, buddy. The following contains spoilers for episode 2 of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, Wind and Clouds Ball Sports Tournament, now streaming on Crunchyroll. Let's overthrow him. I think that's what I found these articles because I was so confused why people were loving Shikimori, and then you've got two people on two sides of this thing, right? People love Shikimori, and they're like, this is great. We reversed the gender roles. It's fantastic. She's the cool guy and he's the weak girl. And they're taking the feminine, masculine and swapping them amongst the characters. Then you have the, I don't like him. Wait, hold on. I need a better. Simp! I don't like him because he's a girl. You get all feminine. Goddamn simp on my... Oh, I'm spat everywhere. I spat everywhere because I'm so mad at them simps. I don't like Izumi. He's a dang simp. So you have these two sides, right, that you find online. And the problem is they're both saying the wrong thing. They're both saying, like, past each other. These people that are like, oh, this is fantastic. This is great. We haven't seen this before. It's like, yeah, we've seen this lots of times. They're like, oh, well, you just are a woman hater. And it's like, not really. Quite like women, actually. And then you got these what do you call them? Bras? Brah. Come on, brah. You got all the bras over here. And you're like, hey, this show's, it's not the worst show ever, but, maybe we get a little more creative than just saying he's a simp. No, he's a simp! Okay, maybe, all right. Well, if that's what you think, I guess. But the problem is it's there's real things to be upset with this show about. There just are. And every time I comment that, it just disappears into whatever void of ignoring they want it to fall into. It's like, man, maybe we could be critical in a way that makes our shows good, as opposed to being hating or absolutely loving. Because if you absolutely love something, they're never going to improve. And if you absolutely hate something for no reason, no good reason, then they don't know how to improve. So I don't know. Maybe my butt hurts because I've been sitting on a fence all day. I want to read this one though. Let's see if we can. I'm almost halfway done. I haven't even started the second article. Oh goodness. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie is a brand new anime of spring 2022 season, joining the ranks of countless high school comedy series to provide some easy viewing for casual fans. This includes a variety of familiar tropes, some of which are subverted, such as the cute, clumsy girl idea. Instead, Shikimori actually stars a cute, clumsy boy alongside a titular lead. Already. Cute, clumsy. Cute, clumsy is the trope. This is Japan. Cute, clumsy is the trope, not cute, clumsy girl. Yes, there are cute, clumsy girls. There's also cute, clumsy guys in plenty of anime. Tenchi Muyo is a cute, clumsy guy. That's his entire character, is like he falls into all these things, but he has these different skills that allow him to move on and propel a story. So like his main thing is that he's clumsy, and that's how clumsy is just a trait in Japan. Like when that's all you're about, then it's a bad character. But if you're that and you do something else, then you're an okay character. But it's not a gendered thing already. This formed the basis of episode 1, where Shikimori made it her mission to shield her gentle boyfriend, Izumi, from the hazards of his daily life. But his clumsiness reaches new heights in episode 2, and not even Shikimori can always be there to help. Izumi finds himself in big trouble, and fast. Yeah, this writer. Maybe we can help them. Maybe we can be. Maybe my words will reach them. Episode 2. Well, I mean, how many people are reading CBR articles on anime? Let's be honest about this. I don't know. I think I found this just because the algorithm was like, "Hey, you've been talking some mad shit about Shikimori. Look at this article. Look at this one." I don't know how many other people are in that same boat. Episode 2 depicts a familiar scene for most anime fans, a series of sport tournaments, including intense soccer, volleyball, and basketball games all day across the school's campus. Shikimori shines brightly during a volleyball game, but watches with dismay as her clumsy boyfriend fumbles with the boys' soccer game and gets himself hurt. Doesn't get himself hurt, gets hurt. Gets destroyed by the soccer ball. He did not hurt himself. Izumi can't do a thing for his class and knows that he's hopeless at sports. Later, he even needs Shikimori to protect him from falling down a flight of stairs. These scenes build on episode 1's themes by firmly establishing Izumi as a gentle and sweet shonen male lead, from his poor sports performance to his meek personality and dependence on Shikimori. This gives Izumi some obvious weaknesses to work on in future episodes, but at least his relationship to Shikimori appears healthy, similar to that of Gojo and Marin from My Dress Up Darling. But unlike Gojo, poor Izumi has some serious problems on his hands, and not just his terrible soccer performance. I talked about this before. I've written about this before. If your relationship is, I have bad luck and I get hurt by things, and the other person says, I am strong person, I protect, that's not healthy. That's not a good relationship. That's a dependency relationship. That's the definition of problematic when it comes to relationships. Typically, we'll see dependency in that sort of provider and provided for relationship dynamic where that can become unhealthy if it's done improperly. But when it's direct like this, where the only relationship connection they have is you need protection and I'm going to protect you, that makes you a bad relationship. Just because you're not mean, just because you're not being rude, doesn't make it good. Parasitic, exactly. It's a parasitic relationship. His entire life is supported on the fact that she will protect him. It's not good. We need a... Bill, you know any good relationship counselors we can get in on this so we can get a diagnosis? Yes, I am Dr. Bill. Knowing us, if we found a relationship counselor, their name would also be Bill. That's just how it goes. For now, Izumi's outrageous clumsiness serves as comic relief and token character development for Shikimori's not just a cutie. But based on episode 2's events, trouble may be brewing under the surface. His clumsiness isn't just a visual gag. It becomes a real problem for him and his friends. You actually are? Of course. Oh my goodness. Have you seen this show, Bill? I may need to talk to you about this show on this show. But you'll need to catch up first, I think, if you're not already. His clumsy becomes a real problem for him and his friends. His pal, Inuzuka, suffers repeated blows, shielding Izumi from harm, and he's clearly growing tired of this issue. It puts an amusing but substantial strain on their friendship, and may make it difficult for his Izumi to keep any friends. I can't believe I forgot that. Did I know that? Did I know that? We'll say that Tanuki stole my memory of that, so that's what we're gonna go with tonight. It also becomes Shikimori's problem, even if she is agile enough to shield Izumi without getting hurt. She feels hurt that he recently started going home with Inuzuka instead of her for protection. He didn't, though. As he didn't want to keep being a burden to his girlfriend. This inspires some yandere-esque possessive feelings in Shikimori, who can't stand the sight of Izumi being happier with someone else than he is with her. Oh, so the caretaker, the protector, is now having possessive feelings for the other person. Again, I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's good. The two quickly clear up this misunderstanding, but Izumi's clumsiness is already sorely testing two of his rather few relationships. If it weren't for Shikimori's cute rom-com tone, things could have been much worse. Clearly, something needs to change for Izumi to achieve substantial character growth moving forward. Even if he doesn't alienate Inuzuka or Shikimori with his flat-footed antics, he might end up losing his audience instead, meaning Shikimori's narrative is just as clumsy as he is, and that can never be a good thing. Oh, you learned! Why? How did you regress? How did you regress, Louis? This article was 15 hours ago. The other one we read was like 3 hours ago. How did you regress? You understand a little bit here. This last line. Shikimori's narrative is just as clumsy as he is because the entire narrative is based on the two of them, one needing protection and one being a protector. Their narrative is as bad as their relationship because the relationship is all it is to the narrative. We don't have anything else that we're going to watch about all this thing. Holy crap. I need more hot sake. That's what I need. I need to coat my throat with it. Oh, goodness. I wonder if we can find this author on Twitter or something. Be like, hey, tell me what you know. How? Okay, hold on. 4019. So if they started in 2019, calculator. Right? They started at this company in 2019. So we got 2022 minus 2019. 1,000 articles a year? Oh! Wait, more than that. Hold on. No, that's 3 years. So 13, almost 1,400 articles a year? I don't know. I don't know if we can blame their lack of anime understanding on that when they're putting out 3 articles. Sorry, 4. Hold on. Calculator, come back to me. 4 articles a day. Holy crap. That's 4 articles a day every day, not include, and I'm including holidays and weekends in that. Maybe that's our issue, is they're just clicking into something like, yeah, watch this show, blah, 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 here we go. But yeah, no, that it's not great. I don't know why I got the heebie-jeebs on that one. That's not normal for me. I'm only gonna do a half more. I'm only gonna do a half more. Holy crap! I gotta cut that bathroom break out of this episode, and I gotta fix a couple things with that, so we can make that hour. Does he actually watch these animes? No time. Sheesh. Yeah, exactly. They have to, right? Like, on some level, they have to be watching all these shows. And if I look at this, like, let's look at what they're writing. Demon Slayer, Aang, so Avatar. 10 characters who are a match for a spy family. Trapped in a dating sim. Shikimori. Bleach. Aharen-san. Komi. Bunch of 9 anime characters who wear orange clothes. How Aharen, I mean, I think the way they're doing this, Science Fell in Love, is they'll pick out a few from a season and they'll watch it, and then they'll just put out articles on the shows that they are covering, with some articles that they wrote, like 10 anime characters wearing orange. I'm sure they wrote that article without even looking at this season. But it's like, wow. I still don't get all of the people that are defending this show. Because, I mean, let's look at the article we read last time. Who was it? The same person who wrote that one? Let's check. We're checking. Nope. Janelle Katarina. So we have 2 different people that have written articles about this show, about how it's like Gojo and Marin, about how it's a good relationship, and it's not, and it's not. So what do they see that I don't see? Because part of my problem is that in these articles, in the tweets, in the, when people are talking about Shikimori, when people are saying, "Oh, this is great. You're a misogynist if you think this isn't good. You're not paying attention." Like all of these things that I'm reading, and I'm looking at, I'm like, but what is good about this? The last article we read yesterday specifically said Marin likes cosplay, Gojo likes dolls, Shikimori is strong and wants to be cute, and then it didn't even mention Izumi. So like, they're not even mentioning the character to tell me what the character is interested in or about, or what I should even care about them for. Like, how and why would I give a crap if you can't even tell me what the character is about or how the character is about? Like, I don't get it. I can tell you anything about a lot of the characters that I think are fantastic, because they're complex characters built on things. They have passions, they have goals, they have things they're interested in, and it progresses the plot. And if they don't have that, it's not important to the show. And it's not like let's take the Demon Lord Reborn as a typical human. Demon Lord reincarnates himself as an average human. He averages himself in his current world, but when he gets reborn, of course, the average of the past is stronger than the strongest today. And so he's stupidly OP, of course. His motivation is that he wanted to be average so that he could make friends and have a normal life. He didn't want to be this super-powered god demon. And so he's sort of falling into that because he has all the power from the reincarnation, but he still is focusing on like, I want to make friends and I want to have a more normal life. And so it's interesting. It's a motivation. It's something that he's got, something that he's like pursuing. He's got friends, and so far we don't know too much about the friends, but the friends' motivations are, we have the first one that was an elf girl who was teased for being the son of this guy, or the daughter of this guy, that she's really powerful. And so like her life, she's been bullied. And so she wants to make friends, but she can't because she's in a position of power and other people won't approach her, right? So they immediately hit it off because they have that same connection of both being powerful, even though he's, light years above her and as far as power goes. They both have that motivation. They get another friend who's getting bullied because of her specific, she's a succubus, right? So she has these make people fall for me powers, and she gets teased or bullied because people think she's using those powers to try to manipulate people. And so finding people that don't worry about that. Now she's found a friend group where she can be friends with people and they're not looking at that specifically. Like that is a popcorn harem anime. It is silly. It is stupid. You can guess what's going to happen coming up in the next episode every time. You can look at a scene and you'll be like, oh, well, he's just going to, they set a trap for him. It's not going to work because he's too overpowered. They're going to think he's going to die, and he's not going to die, and he's going to win, right? Like, that's every episode is going to be. That every single one is going to be like that. Oh, he's going to meet somebody. They're going to have a problem. They're going to become friends, and then they're going to be a part of the harem group, right? That's just, I know how the show is going to go. I've seen it 1,000 times. It's stupid. It's silly. I love it. It's fantastic. It is it's not important. It's not going to change your life. It's not going to make you new or excited about anything. But I can tell you motivations of all the characters, right? I can tell you why the characters do what they do. I can tell you what the characters are interested in. We don't get that. We don't have that with Shikimori. We don't have that at all. We don't even have a hint of it, right? Like it's just not there. There's nothing there that says that this is going to be a deeper or more interesting story or something that we should watch or have to watch or would be important to add to our rotation or anything like that. So I just don't see it. Bill, definitely catch up because I'd like to talk with you more about the actual relationship dynamic that we see growing. We talked a little bit about its parasiticness, but if we can get more of the technical details on that, I'd love to bring you on so we can get a little bit deeper with that. But that's gonna be it for me for tonight. Oh goodness. What in the world? You know what this is going to do? Because I know Katie and I used to stream and we played games and we had fun and, we joked around and we had some fun with games. But me looking at the anime community is going to really make me feel like Grandpa Otaku over here, who's like, back in my day, we had Sailor Moon and Slayers, and they were powerful women, and we thought Misato was the greatest, and Guyver lost all the humans to the Zoanoids, and the Gundam was a movie. like I just I feel like I'm gonna end up building the community of like 30 plus anime fans who are like, yeah, no, you're right. This isn't what the thing is like. And I'm gonna have that's what our escape corner is gonna end up being. That it'll be all the all of us who are used to anime, who remember anime, who have seen a lot of it, who enjoy it, who have the popcorn anime feels, who can watch a show and be like, yeah, no, that I've seen this one before. It's not great, or I've seen this one before. It's gonna be fantastic, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see where this community goes. How many more bills can we find? That's the other question always is how many bills can we get for this community? Bill ownage always going to be Bill OG, more like it, OG Bill. So no, don't worry, your spot is secure in the board of bills. What is the what is the one from Rick and Morty? The Council of Ricks, the Council of Bills. You'll be the head of the bills. Alrighty. That was fun. Very fun. I enjoyed that. Excited to watch some stuff tonight. I got a whole bunch of updates on my Oyo app because I use Oyo to connect to my Annie list. So there's quite a bit to catch up on, to watch. We've seen a bunch of those. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we're looking good. So I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna watch some shows, and I'm going to get ready to talk to you again tomorrow night. Oh, it is Thursday, so I do have it tomorrow. Good. All right. You have a wonderful rest of the day. Look forward to some highlights coming out this weekend of streams that you may have missed. And I will see you next time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on these videos. Kanpai.